Hey everybody, welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
Hi everybody, it's Kat.
Hey, welcome. Get on out of there, out of the waiting room. Climb on into this elevator. We're going to go all the way up to the 10th floor. We got so much General Hospital to get into and talk about. Hey, how's it going?
We sure do.
But come on out of there. We got Carolyn's here. Chandra, of course. Hey, Chandra. Mary. Hey, Mary. We got Estee. All you people, come on in. File in. We're getting started. And on the way up,
started.
You know, there's many floors to ascend. Second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor. You get the point. And so, while we're elevating, while we're on this elevator ride, let's get some business out of the way. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We'll say it again at the end. If you haven't done so, do it. Subscribe.
Yeah. Did you notice that it appears that the Metrocourt restaurant could perhaps be on the 10th floor of the Metrocourt? Did you notice that?
Yes, I did notice that as well. There was something about the 10th floor when Sonny was in the elevator.
Yeah.
Hey, Jakar, Jean,
paneling.
Iwan.
All interior of that elevator was paneled, and he hit 10.
He sure did. And
he came out into the Metrocourt.
So, just references to the 10th floor glory. Thank you so much for the production designer of General Hospital currently. That apparently is a big fan of the 10th floor podcast. So thank you so much. Anyway, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you're just logged in randomly, you're not a member of YouTube, create an account. If you have a Gmail account, you already have got a YouTube account. You just log right in. You probably already are. You don't even realize it. So that's cool. Because if you missed Thursday, you missed the great big grand announcement of something that I was able to turn on for today, which is Super Chat functions. Super Chat. So we are half monetized now on YouTube, which means now when we reference things that might have happened to Elizabeth before she rode a boxcar with Lucky, I think from now on, we're just going to have to call that the incident.
Oh, okay, I get it. All right.
So we're going to have to be a little more careful in some of the language that we use to avoid any sort of flags, questions, or anything like that YouTube might have about the content of the show. Because I've never navigated any sort of strikes, and I don't want to. So we're just going to try to avoid them altogether. Things like that. So, the incident might be what we have to refer to, those sorts of things. The incident between Luke and Laura, so on and so forth. But with that, it creates all new different ways. This Super Chat allows for us to interact with the show and for you guys to interact with us and all that kind of stuff. Now, truth be told, it's all money-based, but, I don't know. I always feel sort of awkward when I start to talk about this for no reason at all. So basically you can send us tips. You can put a special sticker in the chat, and there's different price levels. You can highlight a comment that you want to make and have it stay in the chat and stay on top of it for a certain amount of period of time. So everybody that comes in sees your opinion, or we're definitely going to see your question. And if you do this, there's no way that I cannot reward you by answering whatever it is that you put into this.
And not that he's choosing not to answer you, but it just goes too fast.
Right. And with all of that said, the content of the show, the interaction that we have with the chat currently is not going to change at all. We're still going to read it. We're still going to react. I'm still going to say hello. Nothing is going to change when it comes to the format of the show. This is just completely voluntary on your behalf. If you want to contribute this way, you absolutely 100% can. What for? Because you like us, because you want me to upgrade my system so I'm not working off of one monitor, so I can do things like share pictures, maybe brief video clips, things like that, of stuff that we're referencing or things that we were talking about. All sorts of different things that we can do in the soap world, all sorts of different conventions we can make. We can go to all sorts of different book readings, book signings, Q&As, comedy shows, whatever it is that might be happening. This money would be able to help us attend all of that and bring that information to you. I don't know what yet, but it's just a whole different world of fun things that could be happening on the 10th floor. And on top of that as well, we're going to be donating money. We're going to be donating 15% of what you all decide to contribute to the show, and we're going to be contributing it to a charity called Attendance Works. AttendanceWorks.org is the charity that has been suggested to us. AttendanceWorks.org is a charity that helps families and students understand the ramifications of perpetual absences from school. Really goes to educate families who might be, I don't know, underappreciating the school system or underappreciating the value that it brings to the families and to society as a whole. Right now, there seems to be an epidemic in the nation when it comes to truancy, when it comes to kids just not coming to school. And so this charity is completely dedicated to making sure that these children do go and have the world of opportunities that's presented to them. It's important to us because both of my siblings are in education.
Yes.
You know, they've both been teachers. One of them's a principal currently. And so it's important to us. It's important to them. And we don't want to just take from you guys. We want to be able to give it back in some way, either through the show itself or through this charity. So once a month, I'll be taking 15% of what lands to us through Super Chats, through Buy Me a Coffee, through all of that, and contributing that to attendanceworks.org. So check that out.
Yeah. So, you know, his Matthew's brother is a principal, K through 8th grade principal, and he's been in education about 15 years now. Matthew's sister is a elementary school teacher. And she is actually, this is her 10th year of teaching already, Matt.
Wow.
Your sister has been out of college and been teaching for 10 years already.
That's a long time.
This is her 10th school year.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But we picked this charity because we thought about, you know, like just their district or just their school. And we didn't think that was necessarily cool. We wanted something that might be appreciated throughout our whole country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just centralized to
California
or this or
that. There was a little bit of debate. Do we just take 15% and just give it to my sister so she can buy markers? Or or do we do, you know, something that, you know, I can show a certificate for? And, you know, that's what I lean toward, just something that, you know, the imagery, partnership, you know, any sort of thing that can help. Chandra says this is a great charity. She's into education as well, and children miss school for so many different reasons beyond their control. And this is to help them get to school, get to class, through education, through any sort of different number of different programs and platforms and such that this charity supports. So
and this charity was recommended from Matt's principal brother.
Yeah. And so, you know, he would know best as to what would help the most. And it was definitely well supported by my sister as well. So definitely attention being put on, and they're in different school systems, school districts, right?
Yes.
So
your sister,
clearly,
sister's in Modesto, California. Your brother's in Tracy, California.
Right. So clearly, it's attention that not just one school district has been putting on. So,
right.
So all that housekeeping out of the way. Just wanted to let you guys know what was happening out there in the world when it comes to the show, when it comes to this super chat, which you have access to now live. You also have access to it when you're watching the rebroadcast as well. There's different ways to contribute in a super way. And when it comes to the functionality of the show, last statement before we actually get into the real content of the 10th floor. When it comes to the functionality of the show, I have to pay for server space. I have to pay for Zoom. I have to pay for these little subscription things here or there. The program that makes the cover art, all that kind of stuff. So any little bit gets pumped right back into the show for everybody's enjoyment and presentation. Yep. All right, that's it. Let's get into it. Let's get into the thing that I find the most interesting. Ding, the doors have opened. You walk out. You're not in the general hospital. Oh my God, what has happened? We have been teleported to Pentonville Prison.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, look at that. Kaiwan also supports it. He says he works with kids. They say they work with kids, especially with the handicapped kids after disabled children after the pandemic. Apparently, there's been a decline in attendance. So.
Well, yeah, and actually, that's what my other son said as well, that the pandemic did nothing when it came to attendance. Coming back into away from distance learning, the attendance is not the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, thank you so much. They said Melissa says that we need to get me a hotspot, so if the internet goes out, we can always broadcast. There you go. That's something. That's something.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
we didn't have no control over that last Sunday. I
No, we
tell you,
didn't have any control
we
over
weren't
that last
happy
time.
about it at all.
No. I was waiting so patiently until I was no longer patient anymore. Thank you so much, Chandra. See, there we go, Chandra. Boom, ding, ding, Chandra. I don't know. We'll call it out in some fun, fancy way. uh, in any case, we're in Pentonville Prison. Oh my goodness gracious, it is tense. It is crazy. We have 2 weeks to cover because we weren't on last Sunday. We have a pile of hair in the bathroom floor. Great silver locks just down on the ground, completely burned away. Just cut from the skull of Cyrus Renault, now sporting a completely different look.
It was so the way they did that, it was like a rebirth almost.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, Jeannie contributed.
It's like Cyrus 2.0. So you guys, what should I call him? No.
I know he can't be the hateful ponytail anymore, can he?
No, he can't be the hateful ponytail anymore. What should he be?
I don't know. The clean cut crackpot. Yeah, so I really have no idea what's going on with Cyrus Renault. You know, I've been focused on Al Lapham, and I really cannot put my finger on what the heck is happening with this character, because a couple of weeks ago when he was having his hell dream with Laura, I was like, oh yeah, he's walked away from Satan, you know, he's walked his way out of hell and purgatory or whatever the heck, and and shoot, you know,
yeah, that seemed like a pivotal change as well. That was pivotal as well.
There we go. Melissa's got it. The fearsome fade. There we go. We're running with Melissa. As always,
Melissa,
we're going to take your best ideas and steal them. We're taking them as ours. In any case, so he cut all this off. So, you know, before on Twitter, I'm like, you know, there's different cultures out there that's like, you know, you cut your sins away. You know, your hair represents energy, sins, memories of the past. You know, that's why some places keep their hair long. It's in reverence of the divine energy that they've collected throughout their lifetime. You know, if you were to take that, apply it, you know, it's symbolic to change, is to cut your hair. You see all kinds of different stuff. If you want to take spirituality out of it, it was just apropos, because we're talking about Cyrus, and he's just super crazy into religion now. But you know, just people who want to change, people who want a change. You know, I mean, I don't think there's a simpler way to put that. Often do something to their hair. They cut it all off and they look in the mirror and they go, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah. That's happened to me.
I remember because you forced my sister to not get a haircut for like 30 years. You were like, I own this hair. I don't care what the law says. You're not touching it.
He was 12.
12, yeah, I know. But you didn't let her cut her hair forever and ever and ever. And it got to a point where she was like, well, when I'm going to cut my hair, I'm going to cut it all off. Because she was just so resentful, I guess, at that point over not being able to do what she wanted. And I remember you told her, all right, well, when you're 12, you can do whatever you want. But my recommendation and suggestion is this. Cut it off little by little by little. Because if you hack all of it off, you're going to hate it because it's going to be such a massive change. I wonder if that's true for most people.
Yeah.
Anyway. So he cuts all this off, clean cut, clean shaven. I am totally into it. I'm very happy for the fearsome fade. I was worried, that like I
Here's
saw
the
it
fade. I love it.
before I watched it. I saw on Twitter because I'm plugged into it now because I'm writing for soapoperanews.net and I'm writing for tventertainmentnews.com, and I'm seeing a lot more before I watch it now than ever. So I knew what was happening. I knew what was going on, and I didn't know if I was
Yeah.
gonna like it.
And you know what's great about it, you guys? He didn't tell me, and I don't want to know. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I
I
didn't know if
didn't
I
want
was
to
going to like it, and then I do, mostly because he shaved that beard, and I've never been a fan of the Cyrus Renault beard.
He doesn't have good hair pattern for a beard.
No, no, no.
He
It's not
doesn't.
full enough.
It's not full enough.
Right, right, right. So
You
that's
got to
coming.
have that full beard like Matt does, where you can't see skin through it. That's a good beard.
I mean, Steve Burton complimented it, so hey, hey, thanks, Chandra, for the congratulations on the opportunities. It's been a good time, It's been a good time. I have to write about how people die more often than I like, though, so that's unfortunate, but comes with the job.
Yeah.
Chandra says that Cyrus is giving me Jules from Pulp Fiction, Samuel L. Jackson vibes, deliciously scary.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what. Man, there's just lots of stuff that we're going to find out in the next, well, I was going to say the next week, but it's General Hospital. So we're going to find out in the next month or two.
Well, I mean, things have been going by a little faster recently, so
A
maybe
little
we will find
faster.
out in the next couple of weeks. The next 2 weeks. So, because yeah, we're gonna learn so much. We've learned so much already.
It's
Okay.
true.
So he cuts all the hair off, and then he gets a visit from one Mr. Austin Gatlin-Holt. This is stuff that weeks ago, but we didn't get to talk about it last Sunday.
Right.
So he gets a visit from Austin, and they're like, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, bro. Here's that thing that I said I'd get. You said you wanted me to get for you, and I guess that was the flash drive that Betty had smuggled away with the
I think
fake
so.
with the fake schedule that Sonny had planted. Giving that to one Mr. Cyrus Renault, and he's like, "Mur, mur, 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 I'm the boss,"
Mm-hmm.
We have a great scene between the two of them, though, where Roger Howarth finally he gets his content sandwich. It's been
Right.
they've been starving this man of
I'm
scenes,
telling you,
of
it's like
quality.
it's like he should be emancipated by now. He should be all right.
Yeah, you know. Just sunken into because he's
Right.
just an underfed Roger Howarth. Roger
Underfed.
Howarth. I'm not really sure how to spell or how to pronounce his last name. Phonetically spell it for me, somebody. I demand it.
I think you're saying it right.
I don't know. I've always said Howarth, but I don't know. What if
I
it's
think you're
Howarth?
saying it.
I could be wrong. I'm open to
But
being
it was,
wrong.
but these scenes have been pivotal with information, but also leads with more
I
questions.
know, right? You walk away with answers, but then you have questions about those answers.
Yes.
So honestly, now everything about Austin is in question. Every single thing about him.
Everything.
He could
I
not be.
don't think he's a
He
Quartermain.
could.
He ain't a
Yeah.
Holt.
He might not be a
He's not a
Quartermain.
Holt.
He might not be a Halt. He could be a Gray Gatlin. That's something that we talked about on our special Thursday episode that we had to go back and watch that. We're reacting to Nikolas coming back. Had a little talk about this, all kinds of different stuff on that special GH update.
But we're not going to be normally talking about GH all the time on
No,
that show.
no,
I'm
no,
sure
no.
we'll talk about it a little bit here and there, but we really talked about GH a lot on Thursday because of
because
that
we
whole
missed Sunday.
internet fiasco last week.
But when it comes down to it, it's not like we won't ever talk about soap operas on Thursday because heck, we all love soaps.
We won't be able to help ourselves.
We're like, what if we want to do like like a joke top 10 list, like David Letterman used to do on Late Night Tonight, where like the top 10 excuses that Leo and Dimitri can give from Days of Our Lives, right? And they're just stuff we make up, you know what I mean? Just stuff that isn't actually going to happen, but things like that. It can be soap related. But the whole, anyway, goodness gracious, tangents. Anyway, Gatlin Gray, says Melissa, all good. Now I want to meet Austin's mom. She's still alive. So, Austin's brother is the son of Cyrus.
I tell you what, ever since they came up with a whole Austin character, haven't they? It's like that's the windiest road in San Francisco. How many how many backflip turns they've made, right?
Yeah. Just what is it? Lombard Street in San Francisco,
Yes.
just back and forth and back and forth. And Roger
Right.
Howarth is just going. So am I autistic? No, my brother's autistic. And, I'm just a good man. That's what I am. No, I'm a man with secrets. I want the Quartermain money. Never mind. That was just for attention, or validation for my father. You know.
Yeah.
Am
It's
I
crazy,
actually
right?
the boss? No. I'm just sucked in and I can't get rid of it. But you just Lombard Street.
Yes.
So now there's a direction. We're off of Lombard. He's no longer dizzy. He's going downhill. He's coasting now. He doesn't even have to push the gas. He's just
Okay,
going.
he's just going straight down California Street now.
Just coming right down. And just eating, as they say in my community. I'm here for it. I love it. I'm happy to see it. So happy Roger Howarth is back, with content, with good, interesting content. Because that scene with Cyrus at the jail cell, them talking about, listen, you roped me into this. Thank you so much for paying for my medical school, but I didn't know that it was gonna be something that I was never going to get rid of in my entire life. So good.
I think he is going to be Cyrus's kid.
Why else would Cyrus be invested? Thank you
Why
very
would he
much,
pay
Mr.
for his
Renault.
medical school?
Yeah.
If he's not Cyrus's kid, he's Marty's kid.
Marty and Blair's kid.
Well,
Can you imagine Roger Howard playing Blair's child?
actually,
That
not
doesn't
for
work.
Blair. It's not. Well, I can't say it's not believable, because if I can believe that Olivia is Dante's mom, I can believe that Cassie
No.
is.
For me, I think that there's
That would
a
be weird,
significant.
wouldn't it? Because they're Blair and Todd.
I know it would be super weird. I didn't mean it, Ma.
Would be
I was just
weird.
joking. There's no way. Because to me, there's a significant aesthetic difference between the age of Marty and the age of Cyrus. While they are brothers, I do not feel as though they are 2 years apart or 3 years apart. I feel they're more like 8 years apart.
I think a minimum of 5 or 6. A minimum.
So it just
And
to me,
if Marty wasn't a silver fox, I'd say that they are farther apart than that.
right.
But Marty is a silver fox.
So to me, Matt from the 10th floor, I think that Cyrus looks more like he could be Roger Howard's dad than Martin does.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So do
Because
that.
Marty's skin is so youthful looking.
He's just done such a great job, hasn't he? Whatever Michael E. Knight has done. I don't know if it's just a quick nip, or if it's just genetics, or the right cream, or staying out of the sun, or sunscreen, or whatever it is that he's done. Wow. It's working out for him. Because we had Tad the Cad when he was 20, right? And he was like, oh yeah, what a 80s fox, right? And then now just for me, I'm sure y'all felt differently, but by the end of All My Children, when he was in like his late 40s type of deal, he wasn't pulling it like he used to. All right, he looked like a comfortable man.
And he had already stopped coloring his hair. He let his hair grow. He was the silver fox over there.
It wasn't white though, but it was starting to
very, very, very salt and pepper.
It was like, but he looked like a comfortable man. And now we're swinging back around to just like hot old guy.
He is a hot old guy. He is. And Lucy is a hot old chick.
Yeah. He's 60 something. Okay. Whatever. If Austin's brother is Cyrus's kid, I can see why Cyrus would want his son's brother to be a doctor and pay for it. I don't understand where this Austin's brother thing is coming from. This seems to be completely out of center field, you guys.
Because maybe Mason is,
But it's his cousin.
yeah.
There's no reason to shake any of that up.
Yeah. Not really, huh?
No, I don't think so. Chad the Can became Marty Big Hearty. I don't know. Does Marty have a big heart? Does he? Or are we going to find out some sort of nefarious
I know that's
nonsense?
Melissa again.
um, so you'll know. I mean, and then leading into this as well. I don't know if you guys remember, but TJ recognized Mason.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Which means that the clickety-clack, tickety-tack of Kentucky Fried accent might be replaced with that blah, 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 with somebody with a really unique deep voice.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, I remember that Austin
Or maybe they both were there.
I totally remember that Austin has an autistic brother, but I don't understand why Cyrus would necessarily have to be the father of that kid who's not on the show rather than Austin who's on the show. That's really what my hang up is.
Yeah. Well, Matt, what did you think about it? I thought it was very interesting. It was very different for General Hospital. What did you think about having, the words of Cyrus being heard over the scenes of Sonny?
Right, so I'm not sure 100% what to make of that, okay? Because there's some conflicting logic that exists for me. If Cyrus is behind this, then presumably he would have been behind this because of the information that he got from Betty, which we know was false.
Right.
So if Cyrus is behind this, how did he get the feds on Sonny at the right time?
Because of the flash drive, and maybe they're going to open the containers and they're full of stuffed animals.
I mean, maybe.
And they're going to have to let Sonny go.
I mean, maybe. I don't know what would be the point of all
because
that.
maybe the stuff that's on the flash drive that they made up, they're actually going to follow through and do for a sting that's not going to work. Maybe.
I don't know.
No, that's why I said that lots of things were revealed, but leads into lots of questions.
Yeah, that is a question. Yeah, I mean, that's something I didn't think of at all.
Wouldn't that piss not only Cyrus off, but would piss the warden off too, because they seem to be in cahoots.
Hey, Nathan.
Right?
Then definitely they're in the cahoots. This warden might have been this intended she the whole time. Maybe she and he are both correct because they're working together. Melissa follows up. Austin had a DNA test saying he's a Q when he first came on. Melissa. Come on, this is General Hospital. Melissa, you can trust a DNA test from General Hospital. You're gonna trust any of those results. Every single one of them comes with a caveat, with a little star. You know how Mickey Mantle won the home run record a long time, and they got a star because there was more games in the season, and they didn't want Babe Ruth to lose his legendary status. Okay, all right. Baseball references for all of you people that love sports out there. You can't trust no DNA test from General Hospital. Exactly. Come on, Brad, set up that department.
And perhaps at the time, I don't recall, but was Cyrus running around the hospital back then at that time?
Did he own the hospital at the time? Did he still have a plant?
Yeah. Was he still running around trying to be the head honcho of General Hospital at the time? Because if he was, definitely he'd have made sure that test showed that he's cute.
So, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, that could be the case too. I have no idea what's happening. Nothing happens until it's happened, folks. So, he could be Felicia's kid at this point. For
all we know, maybe since Austin was around the house quite a bit, maybe somehow he got some kind of specimen from somebody at the house, because he was hanging out at the Q house at the time.
He was like, I'll just pull this hair out of Ned's brush.
Mm-hmm.
Let me grab a carpet.
He might even have been able to figure out somehow, some way to get some kind of urine specimen.
What are these, Alan's fingernails? Let me grab one of these. You know, like Monica's got a strange collection upstairs. Nathan's glad that they move Austin away from the queues.
2, actually. 2.
Now, Melissa,
Even though I am all in the corner for more cues, because more cues is more crazy Thanksgiving. I love it.
Oh my God, Daisy will not let go of the brother thing, but hey, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. Maybe there's some subtle references that they've made that I haven't picked up on. You know how GH is. They'll plant the seeds for something 6 months ago and pick it up later. How long did Nina stare at that dang locket?
Yeah, she don't wear it no more.
She don't even care. She doesn't even care.
Nope.
She's like, I don't need this locket anymore. I've actually got my real daughter. The other one's dead on the Pennsylvania side of the river. In case you guys joined us after we got started, we have super chat functions that are now available. And we did a long spiel at the beginning about how 15% of whatever you do through super chat and through Buy Me a Coffee and through whatever else we set up in the future is going to be dedicated to a charity that I forget the website of at the moment, but I'm sure Chandra will share it. Thank you, Chandra. You're the best. About school attendance and making sure that kids go to school, which is very important in the country right now. Lots to talk about that. We'll probably talk about it more on Thursday as well. But just a reminder for anybody that's joined us. I love it. All of this leading up to Cyrus's voiceover over Sonny getting arrested at the Metro Court. Sonny's traumatic arrest. Wiley.
What I didn't like about that.
You didn't like it?
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it. What I didn't like is Wiley was there to watch his grandpa get pulled out of there in handcuffs. That's what I didn't like.
But you didn't like that he got pulled out in handcuffs?
I like that he got pulled out in handcuffs. I don't like that Wiley got to witness that.
Well, that's the point, Mom.
I know, but I don't like it.
You don't like that the show did it, or you just feel bad for the kid?
I just feel bad for the kid.
Okay.
Because me, Kat, am a man. I'm a very, very protective person of children. Very, very.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but it was
that's
great
why
drama.
It was traumatic. If it wasn't for Wiley being there, I wouldn't have called it a traumatic arrest because.
Well, I don't know. Kristina could have peed herself easily.
Gosh, I mean, maybe she's got a weak bladder. She's actually pregnant with TJ's kid right now, and nobody knows because she stole his semen. Well, Melissa, why don't you share the link next time instead of forcing Chandra to do work? The only reason I asked Chandra to do it is because I couldn't remember attendancework.org in the moment because I didn't write it down. Anyway. I hope Sonny's out in time for Wiley's barbecue.
Where are they going to play baseball?
We're going to play baseball. Oh, you can't do it at your house? Well, we're going to bring everybody to the Quarterman compound. Anyway.
I thought little Wiley did a good job.
He did. He did. So it just what's happening with Grandpa, that's the reason why it was traumatic. Because if Wiley wasn't there, it would have been traumatic. It would have just been a thing that happened. The fact that they used that little boy in there, so good. Because he knows nothing of this. He knows nothing of Sonny's real life. Nothing.
And this is going to scare the crap out of Nina too.
You can see it in her as well.
You're typing and you're making everything bounce.
I was writing attendanceworks.org.
Okay.
Is what I was doing. I'm gonna bounce whatever I want.
Okay.
Make you all worried that I'm having another earthquake.
We're not having an earthquake. We've had that experience together on the 10th floor already.
Oh, you're the sweet one, Melissa. Okay. No, we've already had one natural disaster on the show. We don't need another. Oh, goodness gracious. So in any case, so on and so forth and stuff. Poor Wiley, traumatized. He doesn't know anything about Sonny's life, about what's going on. And everyone was there. Kristina was there. Nina was there. Olivia was there. Like, everybody was there to watch this go down. And because of that, I think it's a little less likely there's stuffed animals in the crate. And if there is, then the people in the dock get to go free, but Sonny, the mastermind, has to stay behind bars. I don't know. I think it'd be a little bit of a waste of time and emotional space for these characters to see this and for Sonny to get out by Wednesday.
Oh, and wait till Nina finds out that there was a call made by Carly. That's gonna shake her. That's gonna shake her tree a little bit.
Unless she immediately rushes over to Kelly's to thank her, and then Carly's like, "Oh my God, if I could strangle you, I would."
Right. I have to say, that you mentioned Kelly's, I wanted Carly to do something cuckoo at that place, not just put out some white flowers.
I know you wanted her to do something cuckoo with that place, but do you know how just the anthill of hate would just crawl all over Prospect Park, and I think that would be a big fire that they just goodness, to have to read the reaction to changing Kelly's.
Well, that's true. People would overreact to it because I would see it just going right back to being Kelly's in just a matter of time.
People don't. People have a tendency of not trusting that the show has good intentions for what they're up to.
And I've been looking for my mossy tea kettle of succulents. It hasn't shown up yet.
Well, we'll have to bring it up if we ever run into Laura, right? Like, hey, remember that weird mossy teapot you got? So I put up the poll, was it Cyrus or Nina? So the reason why, Cyrus, the reason why I say Cyrus is because of the clear steps that they kind of put in the show that lead to the conclusion that it could be one Mr. Cyrus Renault. But the big hiccup in that is the information that was apparently provided to him was fake. So again, could be stuffed animals. I don't know.
I thought of that, because maybe the flash drive landed on Cyrus, and if Cyrus indeed does, maybe he got hoodwinked by the whole thing,
or he actually knew what the real schedule was the whole time, and he was just trying to see if Sonny was on to him. I don't know.
Who knows?
He could have found out the schedule any other number of ways. I don't know. It could be Cyrus.
The fearsome fate is not stupid.
No, he's not. But 81% of people, I'm going to end the poll right now, 81% of the people say that Cyrus was responsible. The other part, the other option, 19% of people say that it could have been Nina who did this. And ultimately, because Nina's call to the SEC was kind of what's awakened the feds to Sonny to begin with. It became less about the SEC and the insider trading and more about trying to get Carly or Drew to flip on Sonny for the feds. So this could be a result of that started a few months ago.
Maybe because of her, they had two agendas.
Mm-hmm. Because why would Cyrus call the feds and not do something?
Unless the warden did.
But why? Why the feds? Why the feds? Unless it's because of that speech that they superimposed over this entire situation. The episode on Friday started with Cyrus talking over Sonny, a depiction of Sonny, and ended
in the elevator.
Yes, and ended with a back and forth of him talking to his flock, reading from the Bible and preaching about wickedness being taken down.
Right.
As Sonny is being arrested and put into the elevator. So evidence really does suggest that Cyrus was involved in this.
So much. And I think what he has with the warden, what his reward will be an early release.
Oh, absolutely.
Good behavior.
Absolutely. So, now motivations. All right. Is this Cyrus doing this because now he is going to be a champion for good?
God bless you.
Hey, thanks. Is he now going to be a champion for good in such a way in which any sort of wickedness is not okay? Because it's interesting. It's an interesting character to be playing on General Hospital, where you're like, I'm the good guy, but I'm going after Sonny, so that makes me the villain of the story.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
So I guess that's where we're going. I don't know. I don't know anything about this show anymore.
Well, They want you to not know anything about the show, right?
No, they don't. It's Cyrus Austin's dad. See, we had the same question, Carolyn. We did. Two
I'm
Carolyns.
thinking
Carolyn with
yes.
an I and Carolyn with a Y. So Carolyn with an I. Yeah, I think so. We think so. We want it to be, at least.
Is Carolyn with an I, Caroline?
Maybe.
A lot of times.
Probably. You know what? Leave me alone. I don't know how to read, okay? I don't know how to read. I don't know how to say things. Caroline, Carolyn. It's both. It's either. Whatever. You read the chat next time. Cyrus did highlight this week that Drew being under Sonny's protection, giving the appearance that Drew took the fall for Sonny.
Mm. Yeah.
Gracious, it gets so
well,
good.
actually, I know you didn't see it, Matt, but in the highlight reel for next week, there is a scene. There's a little clip where Drew's notified that he's no longer under protection by Sonny.
Yes, because Sonny's in jail too. I can only protect myself. You see, I'm in pit that way.
You think that Sonny, as Maurice Bernard, will always have a relationship with Michael, because that's the name of the Corleone kid that was played by Al Pacino in The Godfather, and Maurice Bernard is such a Godfather fan that he's like,
Sonny's always gotta have a kid named Michael. You know, it's just perfect for the mafia.
do you think that maybe is a thing?
Maybe. Maybe.
It is.
Maybe.
Maybe. Joshua Bernard, he's coming back. Rumor has it he's coming back. In a significant role.
Well, good, because I don't want him to be that. I don't want him to be that kid down the hall again.
I mean, he'll probably be the kid down the hall, but a little more sympathetic.
Okay, well, he can be the kid down the hall again, but have a different kind of, a different.
There's a I think it's a fall rundown or something of things to expect on the soap, and one of them is Joss bonds with a classmate. Joss becomes a better friend with another person. And so I'm with the rumors that Joshua Bernard is coming back for a few weeks. I don't know about months or anything, but he's coming back to do more than just be on an episode and being like, Joshua, I saw your video, and then come back a few weeks later and be like, I'm sorry for being like that.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And so now he'll do it again. That. And I'm all for. Oh, you know what I'm all for? Having Joshua on the canvas at Kelly's quite a bit.
They need an employee, right? What is up with the hiring, with why it's so hard to hire people at Kelly's? I mean, like, Cameron was the only person that worked there until Spencer needed a job, and Spencer worked there for like a day.
But you know what? There's something a little bit delicious about watching Carly and Jocelyn actually do some kind of physical work.
It's something rewarding for you about watching them serve plates and wash dishes. I put in the thing that Carly never wears a hairnet in the little description, and that is because there's a commentary, not Angela, who does Days for Dummies with us, but a different Angela on Twitter. She just cannot get over it. She cannot move past the fact that Carly has just wild, free-flowing hair in the kitchen, leaning over the serving window. Little things like Sonny coming in, picking up a fry, putting it back on the plate, and that plate being served. Like, is this on purpose?
It would have been really cute, actually, if Carly picked up the plate, picked up that one fry, threw it on the floor, and went walking. That would have
been cute. Boots wants Kelly's to become a Central Perk-like establishment. That was the coffee shop on Friends. And that's what you said, Ma. You said you wanted a big change in the aesthetic. And so to be like Central Perk, it would have to be very comfortable. Because right now it's very old, like, dinery. You walk into it, there's one or two of them in every town,
Sure. It's
your country way,
Yes, it's a country way. It's a Velvet Creamery in Modesto. It's like, you really, really know that restaurant's got some good, stick to your ribs food that doesn't come out of can. doesn't require a can opener. That, if you two things you find in there, you find a cop and an old dude. That's a good restaurant.
If you have to sit down and wait at least 10 minutes for breakfast to get to the table, then yeah, you're in the right place.
Yep. And no, those potatoes have never been frozen.
Right. And so that's what Kelly's is now. To be like Central Park, it would have to relax. It would have to be moved in with like living room furniture.
Yes.
Be more of a coffee shop type of deal than a diner.
But you know what would be cute though? It would be cute if they did this. You know how you said that the fans would just have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Well, the fans would have a heart attack, but it would be cute if the reason why she had to turn it back is because all her patrons hated it. They all walked in and said, "What did you do?"
What's this place? Oh, this is bad. Turn it back now.
That would be the voice of the fans, right?
Carly took out the jukebox. Okay, all right. Says Chandra. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. I don't remember a jukebox.
The jukebox is gone. I just noticed all the
white,
really bad dollar store flowers.
Carly doesn't have much of a budget. She had to spend all her money on those signs. Melissa misses Carly's speakeasy. Yeah, maybe that needs to happen. They need to be like they pull a book from the shelf and then a secret door opens. They can go downstairs to the bar that exists underneath Kelly's.
Yeah, that could be Selena Wu's new card room.
What did I say is okay, Brooklyn? Everything's okay. Comment, talk, say whatever you want. You could be like, I hate Jax. You could say that in all capital letters, and you know what? I'm not gonna say you shouldn't say that. Do whatever you want. Hey, speaking of Jax, all right, that made me think of COVID-19 vaccinations, and that made me think of Jax completely flaming off of the show, right? And that made me think of Steve Burton being like, yeah, well, that sucks, it didn't work out. Hopefully, I can come back someday, right? And then that also led to people like going being like, oh man, Carolyn Hennessy, you're an evil person because you resisted the jab, but then she got it anyway. And Marcus Coloma too, he resisted until he finally got it because he wanted to stay on the show. All of the, big controversial thing. Who avoided it entirely? Who was missing from General Hospital this entire COVID-19 time and came back after the restrictions were lifted and nobody ever said anything about it?
I don't. Who was it?
She's a very important character. She's related to two big characters. She is an potential female heir to a fortune.
Guy?
She is Lulu's kid. She is Valentine's kid.
You're right. Because the original Charlotte is back.
So the original Charlotte, Scarlett Fernandez.
Yeah.
Disappeared at about COVID time.
Yeah, she did.
From my understanding, this is the 10th Floor podcast. I do not have an article to point to. I do not have a quote to back up what I'm going to tell you. This is how I understand it, and now I understand it alone. I am open to being incorrect. But as I understand it, she didn't get the vaccination.
She did not.
She didn't get the vaccination. Now, she was 11 or whatever at the time. Clearly, it wouldn't have been up to her as to whether or not she got it. So this would have been a choice that her parents made. And that's likely why any sort of controversy missed her entirely.
Yeah.
Huh. Yep.
But I think it was great that they brought her back though, because she kicks butt, Charlotte.
Yeah. It's like she practiced when she was back because she misses Lulu. And maybe that's the the actress bringing it in because she worked with Lulu. She's like, I want Julie Berman back.
Well, it wasn't Julie Berman anymore by then.
Who was it? I forget names.
I'm terrible.
I miss whatever her name was. Whatever. Leave me alone.
Rylan? Is the last name Rylan?
Rylan? M. Rylan?
Yep.
Yeah. I miss M. Rylan. Bring back M. Rylan. See, I guess in my heart of heart, I still just prefer Julie Berman. Even though I saw this much Julie Berman.
So I saw
this much Julie Berman as Lulu.
She was my favorite Lulu. Lulu's got one eye open. I know she does, you guys. She got one eye open.
Well, I mean, it went from a reference to remind us that Lulu's a person to every single time Charlotte's on now. is talking about Lulu. So
And every time Maxie's on too.
it's very
And
clear.
half the time that Dante's on.
Yeah.
Right?
He's constantly talking. And now we
Tell
got
you,
Maxie
You
moving
like
into
this
Lulu's
right
house.
now, you guys. You like this right now.
Yeah. So Maxie's going to get settled in, right? And she's going to be chilling on the couch. The kids aren't going to be fighting anymore. They're going to be sleeping in their own separate bedrooms. She's going to be like, oh my God, thank you. James is whatever, Georgie's whatever, Bailey's asleep. Just happiness, harmony in this home. She sits down to turn on the television set to watch the nightly news or whatever it is that Maxie does. And in walks Lulu.
Really?
Dragging an Ivy behind her.
I thought when they were at the house, her and Felicia and the kids were at the house, man, I was thinking the very last scene of Friday was going to be Lulu like this. Really? Really? My gosh, they've been referencing her so much. She is moments away from waking up, you guys. I can't. I'm excited for her to come back because I always like Lulu, but I'm excited for her to come back. Gosh, half the reason is because I just can't wait to see who it is to play her. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Julie Berman back? Is it going to be Im Ryland back?
Somebody else.
Is it going to be Belle from Days of Our Lives?
Oh. That'd be interesting.
She has the right look, Matt.
That would be very
Totally has the
interesting,
right
actually. I went, Has this been the secret they've been holding this whole time, Mama? Is that
maybe Lulu, maybe Cupcake is over there on Days of Our Lives right now being called Belle.
Oh my gosh.
Who she has a little nickname over there, Tink. She can come over to General Hospital and be Cupcake.
I mean, maybe that would be interesting. Ooh, what a get.
You hadn't thought about that?
Yeah, I haven't at all. I don't even think about it. I don't think about what actors could be jumping from one ship to the other.
Well,
who did you play?
I don't remember her name, but the young woman that plays Belle is a perfect new Lulu.
I wonder what Jakarius and Jeannie think of that.
Jakarius, are you on there? Are you listening?
He was having some issues with his phone earlier, so I don't know if he scampered away. He's also in, I think, somewhere. He's in the South somewhere. It's hours later. Krista says I'm 10% correct, so that's good. That's good. Hey, if you know the 90% of the truth, I would love to hear. Scarlett Fernandez and her family moved to either Iowa or Ohio. She also broke both of her arms and stuff. Maybe they moved to Iowa or Ohio to get away from COVID. Maybe they still live in Iowa or Ohio and just fly to Los Angeles when it's time for her to film.
Could be. I mean, William Lipton lived in San Mateo, California, the majority of his time.
Yeah, he would just drive down to
General
LA.
Hospital, and he was driving from San Mateo to Prospect Park.
Yeah.
And I'm sure doing a bunch of scenes at one time, but he did that for years.
Yeah, now he lives in Los Angeles and said, I quit the show.
Yeah.
Melissa likes Sante. I'm cool. I want Sam back with Drew for sure, says Brooklyn. Now, I guess, if Lulu comes back, that's going to shake everything up. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. If Lulu wakes up, comes back, clearly Dante's going to be trouble. Dante and Sam might split, okay? Now, Drew is going to come back to town, of course. Let's just be real here. If the vaccine mandate has been lifted on General Hospital, which it has been, the likelihood has never been greater that Steve Burton will find his way back to the show. The reason he left was because of the vaccination. He left on good terms. They like Jason. There's no reason in my mind for them to not bring him on back if they can.
I would be absolutely shocked if Steve Burton did not wind up back on General Hospital in the next 6 months.
Right. So Jason comes back. That mixes things up with Carly and Drew, because the last thing that Carly and Jason were up to essentially was their little thingy, and now it's going to be strange. Maybe Carly finds a way with, I don't know, but that's going to mess that up, leaving Sam and Drew available once again to find themselves in the throes of passion.
Yes, Scout's parents are back together.
Scout's parents are back together. And, when you're not in a main event pairing, if you're not in a relationship with Carly too, you can spend a little less time on the show.
This would be cute.
Yeah.
This would be cute. So Lulu wakes up. She moves back into her own house with Maxie.
Come on, knock on my door.
with Charlotte
Uh-huh.
and Rocco in tow.
Oh my goodness.
So now they got 5 kids there, and the house is too damn small again.
Everywhere there's a heart and a hand to hold on to.
And it would be funny too. It would be funny too if they doubled up Charlotte and Georgie in the same bedroom, and there's so much hair pulling going on, they have to move out of there.
Okay. Oh, Krista has amended her statement. I am 100% correct, not 10% correct. All right. Thank you very much, Krista. Carolyn is Carolyn, not Caroline, but Carolyn.
Okay.
100% also convinced that T. Burton will be back by November sweeps. Convinced, as if she's seen the contract herself. Maybe she has.
Well, the timing works, you guys, because his deal at Days, his contract comes up in September,
October,
this month. Like so, for all we know, he hasn't been filming up since they are 6 months ahead over there. For all we know, Steve Burton ain't been on their lot in the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah,
we don't know,
right? I mean, I'm pretty sure he has been, but I don't know. Jeannie says that they don't do sweeps like they once did. Carolyn says, oh, Jeannie, they still do sweeps. They still do sweeps, but they don't do sweeps like they once did.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yes, there is such thing as sweeps, but it just doesn't have the same punch that it used to.
Yeah.
And because of the way television is broadcast and the way you can view it now, there's really no reason to be necessarily do the sweeps like it used to be.
No, if you've got more than 50% of television watchers are exclusive to streaming now, and I don't, my entire immediate family has cut the cord. I don't have anybody. I don't think. Yeah, ain't nobody got cable or satellite in my immediate family. And interestingly enough,
still does.
I'm sorry.
I think your uncle still does.
Right, but he's your immediate family.
Yes, he is.
Well, he's got to get his NFL passes and stuff.
Yep.
But whatever. But the whole point of that was to say 50% or that, and then also on Twitter it came up on Twitter at 10th Floor GH. Give us a follow to join in on the conversation. There was somebody that commented if I thought that if soaps were to move exclusively to streaming, all of them, all 4 of them exclusively to streaming, CBS All Access and Hulu and Peacock only, never available on CBS, NBC, and ABC, if that was worth losing the older generation of viewers. And that got me thinking, what are we considering the older generation of viewers now? Are we considering them 80 or 90? Because I don't think that's a significant portion of the audience anymore.
I am the significant part of the audience.
You're the significant part of the audience, and you're on a YouTube.
My age group.
You're streaming live on YouTube as we speak.
Exactly.
You cut the cord, and you're only on streaming networks. Now, how to navigate this stuff is not something that came naturally, specifically to you.
Oh, it's a learning curve.
It was a learning curve specifically to you. But this is another comment that came up on Twitter about it as well. The people who built the technology that all of this stuff is based on is your generation. Or at least paved the way.
It is.
And it made me think, my mama for over 30 years made microchip wafers.
I sure did.
So when it comes to the tech world, I don't think the supposed older generation is as far behind as the younger generation might think when it comes to being able to pick up a remote control and navigate their TV to Peacock to pick Days of Our Lives. I don't think that it would be an issue. I really do feel as though
I don't think
there wouldn't be much of a sacrifice of the audience to make that move.
I don't think it would be much of a sacrifice either. And I think Days of Our Lives has kind of proved that to everybody to a certain degree. Because their audience has actually grown.
Right.
And what I love about that, you guys, and I'm sure a lot of you are watching that as well. I love that I can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and watch Days of Our Lives for the day if I want to. I love that.
To have it available whenever you want.
And whenever you want. I love that.
It could be your morning show, it could be your lunch show, it could be your dinner show, it could be your just before bed show. It doesn't matter. You can put it wherever you want in your life.
Yes. Or if you want to binge it, of course you can do that through the way it's broadcast now with, going to your DVR. You can do that now and binge it,
Yeah.
but you can even binge it easier. And I think so many people are watching television in a bingey sort of way now anyway. Yeah, I think all the networks have been really watching Days of Our Lives and seeing just how well did it land.
I mean, it seems to be doing pretty well for itself. It really does. It
So,
really does.
and and I don't necessarily think that this is a something that we need to hear constantly. But this past week, when one of the characters told the other character that they were a self-righteous prick, that was funny.
That was funny. It sure was. Old Patchy.
Old Patchy's old name.
Yeah. Well, there's a number of people in the chat that claim themselves as the older generation of GH watchers, and they're perfectly fine streaming and watching this. Now, I recognize that the sample of people are literally watching me stream right now, and so it might not be the most 100% accurate view of the general audience at large, but I don't think it would be as much of a detriment as anything else. People are talking about Kaiwan's mother was a computer engineer. Jeannie used to use her computer to log into AT&T. Like all sorts of different complex ways of getting their soaps is something that the chat has already experienced. So yeah. I think that it would be perfectly fine. And plus, I would love to watch General Hospital before 6 p.m. Do you know how late that is in comparison to every other person on this planet?
Well, yeah, for sure, Matt. And since your amount of time in your day, well, you're actually home, or not, you don't necessarily want to watch it.
I can watch it with one eye at work.
You don't want to watch it on this all the time.
Not all the time, no. I can watch it with one eye at work, or I can maybe try to find the time to watch it in bits or whatever when I'm here living my life. But it would be wonderful to be able to just, like, in the morning, be able to do Days GH and be done with it. Yeah. It would be wonderful. And then I would be with the times, and everything would be spoiled, and I would I'd be discovering it along with everybody else rather than watching it after the fact.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah, and that hour, the time of the day where you can watch it at home, that's all the only time you have in your day.
Yeah. Yeah,
at home. That's the only time you have. So it's already very busy.
I do 100% of the cooking. I do 100% of the cleaning. I do 100% of the shopping. I do 100% of the sweeping. I do 100% of the YouTubing. I do 100% of the. I'm kidding. I don't do all of it.
I was going to say, dang, maybe we need to have a conversation after this to say, hey, someone needs to be a little more assertive.
Oh, so it's my fault. Okay. It's on Hulu in Chandra's area at 8 p.m. Oh my god.
It's 7 for me.
Feel for you.
7 for me.
I don't know why I get it at 6. It's all Hulu. I don't understand why we're getting it at different times of the day.
Well, maybe they changed it to 6 in my area, and I don't even realize it.
Yeah, maybe because you're watching it on your little live streamer thing, right? Yeah. Either on the ears or the live streamer. I think the biggest issue is the longer the viewers feel they don't want to pay for something that has already been available to them at no charge. But it has been available to them at a charge because you had to pay for the cable. The only way to not pay for it is to put your bunny ears on the TV. But who's watching it that way? Yeah.
I don't think a whole lot of people are.
I mean, yeah, there would be a sacrifice. There would be a sacrifice of some people who would no longer have access or no interest or just don't subscribe to that thing. But here's the fun part. I wrote about this in my TV headlines update on TVEntertainmentNews.com because these streamers are realizing that exclusivity is not working for profitability. So you know, how Netflix kind of collected everything and really made its mark because it had all the movies and all the TV shows and everything, and it just made billions and billions of dollars, and everybody loved it. And all of these other companies were like, oh shoot, this is the future. This is what we got to do. We're making, now we have, I don't need to go over the history. You guys have seen it. Now we have every streaming platform available from all of these people, and they don't share their content. If you want to watch this, you got to pay for here, you got to pay for here, you got to pay for here, here. They're realizing that the market cannot sustain that. People are not buying all of them in mass.
Yeah.
So some of the lower performing ones, like AMC, they're not making money, you know, just on their streaming thing. And so they made a deal with HBO Max to proliferate their content. So now on HBO Max, you're going to see some AMC content, Walking Deads and that sort of stuff. Some of their big things are coming over to HBO. HBO licensed these things. AMC has now made more money off of these shows by giving them to HBO for a specific period of time than offering it exclusively on their own, and you can only come here to see it.
Yeah.
Same thing is happening on Disney Plus and Hulu, which is both owned by Disney. But Disney is realizing that keeping things only on Hulu or only on Disney Plus is making it so they're affecting the profitability of both of these streaming platforms. And so now you're going to see some Disney Plus trickle over, some Disney Plus programming that used to be on Hulu is going to trickle back over, like Once Upon a Time, for example. You can now watch on Hulu again. So we'll see what that means for the future of streaming when it comes to having to buy all of these. Maybe there won't be. Maybe there could be a company out there that's brilliant and licenses all of the soaps to be on one platform.
Wouldn't that be something?
You know, like something like Oprah does. I don't know.
Soapopera.net is back.
You know, maybe you know, soapoperanews.net. You know, hey, take this. Find a tech genius guru who can negotiate these contracts and make it happen. You know, you can have your little soapy streamer. You know, we've got horror streamer networks and all that kind of stuff. You can have your soap streaming network. You can also reach in and grab all of those defunct CW shows, put those on there with your Riverdales and all that kind of stuff, and then you can get those young audience that likes this sort of just ridiculous storytelling melodrama and expose them to what soaps are really like. This is brilliant, everybody. This is brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness gracious. So Joss is upset that Dex isn't around to give her the business, I guess.
Well, she didn't get. She wanted to go to the concert with him really bad.
Who's playing?
I don't know.
Fido. It was Fido's band.
There you
really,
go.
really popular out there. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. We're gonna tell Fido that you're coming back to town in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told him to we were talking before, and I told him, and he's like, "Oh, we should hang out again." I'm like, "Okay, cool. You're the one with the mountain of scripts. You tell me when you're available." So we'll see.
Yeah.
Sherry ice cream. Ooh, I do want ice cream too. Ooh, Chandra, you're
Can't
right.
eat ice cream. It makes me sick.
But it's better for you to not eat ice cream anyway. So yeah, Joss wanted to go to the concert with Dex. I guess, I don't know, Kane Brown was playing, or
Kane Brown.
I don't know, Eminem. Somebody. Can you imagine Eminem? Can you imagine Eminem walking through Port Charles, just being like, "Hey, yo, it's me, Eminem, on a daytime TV show," and he leaves.
That would be odd.
They had bands come through. I remember there was this club sequence. You know, there was like Elizabeth and Juan dancing and having a good time with Emily.
Oh my gosh!
98 Degrees was boy banding up there.
Gosh, you know, back in the day when Angie and Jesse got married again, you know who played at their reception?
I don't.
Neo.
Yes. Wow. So this was okay when they got remarried. So this is when they both came back, when Jesse wasn't dead anymore and Angie came back to town.
No, actually, it wasn't the reception. He played a love song at the beginning of the ceremony.
Oh.
He sang, "Oh yeah, Neo was on there."
Yeah. Wow. See, look at that. Yeah. Dancing with the Stars left ABC, went exclusively to Disney Plus, and after 1 year returned to the network television after being streamed on Disney Plus. They're still trying to figure it out, folks. You're still trying to figure out what works best for every single little different thing. Here's the thing about Dancing with the Stars versus, in my opinion, difference between Dancing with the Stars versus soaps. Ain't nobody want to watch Dancing with the Stars no more.
That
show's bad.
Is that what happened, you guys? It was just I saw the commercials. So Dancing with the Stars is going to go back to the network now?
That's what Krista says.
A good thing they dumped Tyra then.
Yeah, but they didn't rehire Tom Bergeron, did they?
I'm sorry, she just wasn't good on there.
No, she wasn't good. But no, nobody wants to watch Dancing with the Stars anymore. Nobody wants to watch it.
Yes, they do, babe.
Let's watch that show. Who they even got?
People still like it.
They got the Real Housewives from Beverly Hills dancing.
Oh boy.
They need to bring Kelly Monaco back to the show. Then I'll watch. Okay?
Yeah.
Right?
They should.
The daytime Dancing with the Stars.
They should do it
Dancing with the Daytime Stars.
Or they could do champions of Dancing with the Star.
Yeah, well, they've done that, and she came back and was a finalist again.
It's true.
But they could do it again. They could do it again and again and again and again and again. Melissa says we prefer the masked dancer. All right, the masked daytime dancer. Okay, and Nika wins. All right, all right, Nika. How's this for a story pitch, Ma? How's this? All right. What do you think? What do you think of this idea? All right. Maxie and Spinelli hanging out in the Savoy. They're feeling connection. They're feeling, maybe there's possibility.
They're like feeling that whole Jake's vibe like they did before.
Like they used to, They're like, we remember this. Okay. Hey, something goes wrong. It becomes awkward. It becomes weird. And they are no longer really able to comfortably be in the same space with each other just because they want it, but it feels wrong. They just really don't know what to do about it, and it's complicated and uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Then, for some inexplicable reason, it becomes like You've Got Mail. They keep on running into each other. They just happen to be booked for the same massage time. Oh no, how did this happen? Might as well just get the couples massage. That thing, right? They don't know what's going on, all that stuff. And then we find out that it's Nika playing Cupid because she saw the whole thing at the Savoy and she's like, those two, they need to be together.
They do.
I love it.
I love it too. But they do have to figure out a way for that whole matchmaker, I'm still in your identity storyline to go away.
Isn't it gone? It's gone, right?
Well, it kind of just like vanished, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, he invented God powers with that thing. There's no way that thing can be erased from history. To be able to get the goods on anybody by putting their name in his program, and you just know every single thing that's ever been done about them, every single online record has been downloaded into this file, every single, that is way too powerful of a tool at anybody's disposal. For them to keep it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, who can keep a secret? Nobody.
Nobody.
Like, Spinelli, figure out what Miss Wu's up to.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, goodness.
Well, Sonny told Miss Wu to back the hell off, didn't she?
You leave Marshall and Curtis alone. And she said, okay, Sonny, I'll do that. And basically turned around and was like, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm not going to leave them alone.
Yeah. She's not going to leave Marshall alone.
Oh,
and
goodness.
I think this is not going to go Selena's way.
Oh, no. But now Sonny's out of the way, though. Sonny's currently in prison.
I know, but I think Marshall's a bigger badass than anybody knows.
So what do you think? We're going to learn about his real mafia ties from way back when?
I think we're going to learn some stuff about him, yes.
Because he really had no problem at all saying, your poker game, it's over.
Yeah, I loved all of it too.
Hat Daddy actually snapped, Mama.
I know he did.
We have to have some 10th floor fans on there. Either that or I just feel arrogant today. But
he did a snap and out.
Mm-hmm. Your business, you're done with Curtis. Out.
Yeah. And then
no hesitation, no qualm, no fear.
No.
Just telling her what's going to happen.
And I really was surprised that she didn't think that she was going to get any other answer than what she got from Sonny. Sonny was going to tell her, well, then the poker game's done. They don't want it, it's done.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Turn around? No, you could just find a new spot for it.
Really, find a new
Just go
store.
to
What
the east
are you
side of
doing?
town, or the west side of town. All right, get away from the ocean. Just go to the west side of town. Oh God. Oh goodness.
Do it on your own property, Selena Woo.
Yeah, I mean, you don't own any of your own businesses.
Right.
Come on now, Selena. What sort of weird, weak game are you playing?
Yeah, well, I think she, in case there's a big old sting and something happens, she just doesn't want to be affiliated with where it's actually at.
Well, maybe Selena Wu was the one that sent the feds on Sonny then to get him out of the way, so she can just be like, it's not working for me anymore. Get out of here, Sonny.
Well, you never know. See, there's a lot. There's a lot.
I know, isn't it? It's been so good.
Paddles in that pot.
Been so good. Huh? It has been so
Lots
good.
Of paddles in that pot.
We talked about this a little bit on our special Thursday broadcast, which we pretty much sat there and said, at this point, it's really hard to just sit there and deny how fun GH is now in comparison to what it was a few months ago. And the only difference is the strike. It seems,
Strike.
Speaking of that, your special Sunday strike update. Somebody thanked me in the comments on YouTube for keeping them up to date, because people who don't live in Los Angeles apparently are not as well plugged into what's going on as I am.
Yeah, you are more plugged in than I am as well, and I'm here in the California. I don't think the strike is really not covered all that much in the media.
I guess I could just get a lot of coverage in, or the algorithms have decided that I should be informed because I was curious before. But no news. No news since the Thursday update that we gave you, in which apparently some of these studios like Netflix already have deals in place in European countries. That's the deal that we want here in America. Mm-hmm. So the big question is right now, hey studios, if you can do this elsewhere where it is mandated by the government, why can you not do it here? So we'll see where that leads. We'll see where that leads. Because when it comes to the court of popular opinion, that one is hard to move on from.
Yeah. Your greed shouldn't be only for here. Yeah.
Can we keep the new writers even when the strike ends? I'm enjoying this so much more. It's a lot swifter and more engaging. So when it comes down to it, it's not the individual script writers that's necessarily switched it up. It's the people who are in charge of deciding story beats and when things happen are different. So yeah. Just different choices are being made from the top currently. So it seems to be, I don't know how to describe it without actually knowing these people. Like if I knew them on a personal level, it would be much easier for me to try to translate this into ways for, I don't know, consumption. But the head writers, Chris and Dan, aren't there to be deciding what the story beats are. It's likely Frank Valentini that's calling every single one of the shots. I don't see why it wouldn't be. And his storytelling style is different than Chris and Dan's. It's how that pretty much shakes down. When it comes down to it, I am enjoying it more than the storytelling style that we had been getting previously. And there's a lot of people that agree with that. So what that means for the future, I don't know, because there's contracts, deals, years, all that sort of stuff that you can't just be like, well, I don't like your creativity, It just anyway, long-term brooking. That's right, Boots. That's right, wrestling reference. That's right. What else you want to talk about, Mom? You want to talk about Joss and Dex more? Dex ran away. Jason wouldn't run away.
Well, Dex ran away because Carly was able to inform him.
Jason wouldn't have run away. He would have turned around and beat up a cop.
I don't know I don't really know. But yeah, I don't think all that's going to sit well with Nina.
Yeah, she's probably going to be pretty unhappy. Yeah.
She's going to be unhappy about her calling Sonny. Then she's going to be unhappy about all of it.
I don't know about getting a hold of Sonny, though. Sonny ignored the call.
He did. He ignored the call, but not because he was enthralled with her.
Why would she be upset, though? Because, why would she be upset? Explain.
Because they're talking to each other too much for her comfort.
But it was about him getting arrested.
And she don't care.
Oh, you don't warn Sonny. I'd rather him go to jail. You think Nina's like that? You can say yes.
I think she's going to be more of a, she's never going to go away, is she?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, she's not.
No, she's
They
not.
didn't come to peace with that already? They did.
Yeah.
Nina's a whiny teenager. Well, yeah, she was in a coma for 20 years. Nina deserves unhappiness. My goodness. She's just trying to have a family. She can't help but be her bearer of her own destruction.
Yeah, she cannot help but be a bearer of her own destruction. It's true. It's true. And with the really, really, really boiled down to, it is not Nina's fault. That is that awful mother of hers fault.
Yes. Chandra says that Jason would have gotten the crew out, but let himself get arrested.
I agree with you. Yes, that was the biggest part that I didn't like, was that Jack skedaddled and all his partners all got taken away in the paddy wagon.
Yeah.
And he ran like a little
Oh, see? Because he's not really Jason. See? He's not Jason. You guys thought he was Jason this whole time with the new face, but you were wrong. Not Jason survived.
Chrome gun don't make you Jason. Right?
Jason would have already been in the noses, Krista.
Jason would probably already had Diane by his side. By all that came down.
The feds run down.
I'm saying a word. Right.
I've got Diane. I'm not saying anything.
Now, Diane, whenever she comes to court now, the first thing she has to say when she walks in a room is stop talking.
Yes.
You never had to do that with Jason.
No. Oh, goodness gracious, my golly. Oh, just tragedy. Wiley's never going to get over it, and everybody's getting arrested, and Dex is a wuss. Curtis goes home.
Curtis did go home, and he has a different attitude, Matt.
Yeah, I actually felt sympathy for him, finally. I finally felt sympathy for him this week. It was at the end of his time at the rehab facility, and he was talking to Portia about going home, and like I'm not strong, and like there was just a way, like I know, covered more of the same baloney that they've been covering for weeks, like same stuff that he said in the bed when he woke up after getting shot, but there was just something about it that was better. So, I don't know if it was the performance, the conversation, the fact that he didn't respond to everything Portia said with, well, get out of here, I hate you, or whatever, but I bought into how upset he is over how he has lost his virility, his strength, his what he considered to be a driving force of who he is as a person.
Right.
I don't even want to say as a man, because that's BS, weird cultural stuff that we apply to people, but just as a person, a big part of his identity as a human is gone. And I finally felt that from him, and I didn't get that from him before.
Right.
But maybe it was because I was just being mad at him for being so dismissing of everyone.
So you understand better his frustration.
Yeah.
Because they've stripped away the anger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
And now it's more frustration.
So maybe anger is just an emotion that I have more difficulty associating with. I don't know. It's because it's not like I don't get angry or haven't spent days mad at stuff. It's not like I've missed that emotion entirely. But when it comes to accessing the deepest parts of a person, it might be something that I have more difficulty understanding than whatever it is that Curtis is going through now. I don't know. If there's a psychologist listening, let me know.
And I liked Trina's response too. She was, of course, too hovering, too smothering, but she just, poor old Taggart though. She just wants her dad to be comfortable and happy and recovering.
Here's the thing. She wants Curtis to be. All right, she doesn't sit there and be like, oh, my dad, Curtis, oh, my father did this, when it comes to regular conversation with other people. She did that for him.
Yeah, she did.
My dad. Like, and there was a little meltdown on Twitter about, oh my God, Curtis, what about Taggart, the erasure, yada, yada, yada. Totally missing the point of it being Trina doing too much.
It was Trina doing too much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, Curtis, to his, credit, wasn't just like...
No, he understood.
He did wheel outside very quickly, though, to have that conversation with Marshall.
Yeah.
who was very quickly, I know you haven't been settled in this house yet, son, but there's a problem with the club. Well, I'm going to sell it. Whoa, don't sell the club. I'll run it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Miss Wu versus Marshall. Oh.
I'm looking forward. Oh, she better be careful what she does to Hat Daddy.
I mean, you have opinions, and we will see which ones of them turn out to be facts.
Well, I don't know. I'm protective of Marshall. I really am.
There's something about that character that I find to be special, and I really like him.
Yep.
Yeah. Chandra says that Curtis is moving through the stages of grief.
I
Anger,
agree.
denial,
Yep.
acceptance.
And finally, it's acceptance at the end.
Yeah. Just in time for him to stand up. Just in time for him to get up. When would he get up? When's a good time for him to get up?
He has to get up for Christmas.
Put the star on the tree. Come on, Curtis.
Maybe the same week, on the very same week, Curtis is going to wiggle his pinky toe, and Lulu's going to open one eye.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, Taggart is fermenting in a ditch. Oh.
Yeah. And yeah.
Marshall will miss Wu.
Yeah, the last time we saw Taggart, he was doing shots, wasn't he?
Yeah. But as easily as they had him pick up the bottle, he can put it right back down. And then clearly Mac is the commissioner now, so whatever plans they were trying to lay forward with that don't seem to be.
Bless you. Yeah, that was a line of dialogue that just never got addressed again, wasn't it?
It's just, I guess it didn't get approved by the city, and Mac is the commissioner, and that's just the way that it is. Maybe that's one of those Chris and Dan ideas that just didn't get put into fruition when it came time to move forward.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm all for, though? I want Trina to find Taggart not in a good place.
And be like,
be able to help him turn around.
Well, if he's got time to drink, that means that Trina's not paying enough attention to him to begin with.
Exactly. Trina's not paying enough attention to him. And, we know that, even though she hasn't been on screen, she hasn't talked about him either.
No. He's definitely left behind in the ditch fermenting, like Melissa said. It's the truth. One of those mini ditches on the side of the roads of the forested Port Charles Highway. You got Taggart waiting to get picked up by Lisa Lobrecht and nursed back to health. Because Lisa will find you in the woods. Actually, as a matter of fact, if you find yourself lost in the woods surrounding Port Charles, if you just start shouting Lisa Lobrecht, the chances of her hearing you are higher than most.
But the biggest thing that if you're lost in the woods, the biggest indication that someone will find you before you expire is you've got to be in labor, and Taggart can't do that.
No, that's true. That's true. Had Daddy and Mob Mama. Ooh, wow. Ooh. That actually is pretty good. The chat is just all for Marshall and Selena Wu hooking up. Maybe that's how he's going to disarm her.
I would like that. But I would like Hat Daddy to be playing her the entire time.
Well, yes, of course. I got your number, Miss Wu. Exactly what to do. Just as Curtis walks, he'll learn that Trina is Taggart's daughter, not his. Oh.
Well, that could be true.
You're lost in the woods, Austin will save you. Wyatt could save us. There we go, Melissa. Wyatt
there you go. A couple of weeks ago when they had Wyatt and Jake on, I didn't see the point.
I don't know if I saw the point either. It's because Frank Valentini likes that kid who plays Wyatt. He used to be on One Life to Live.
The only point I could see is perhaps they really wanted Gregory to have that heart-to-heart with Wyatt and have that influence.
What was it about? I don't remember.
I don't either.
I don't know either. Well, I remember the commentary that happened on social media afterward, which was, what? Why did we spend so much time on a character that isn't even on the show? You brought Jake Weber back to give him one line and all of these to Wyatt?
Yeah. Yeah, it was odd, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a little odd. But whatever
you know
it was,
what- and you know
was
You know what else is
stepping
odd too
burgers.
in my own life? If I look back, Jake, the way Jake looks, the way his hair is, the way he looks,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of looks like your dad did when I very, 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 very first met him when we were 15 years old.
Jake
And he was
Weber's
only
related to us.
actually, my husband towers over me in height now. He's not a big old huge dude. He's not. He's 5'10".
Uh-huh.
I'm only 5'3".
Right.
When I met my husband, he was this much taller than me. So that's what he rocked, especially his hair. He got the 70s feathers hair,
Mm-hmm.
and it's exactly the same color your dad's was back then. He remind me of your dad back in 1977.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Chandra said she was paying such little attention to the scene with Wyatt that she thought it was Aiden. Which would make more sense to have Aiden in there instead of Wyatt. Now, I get it. Port Charles is a big place. They like to sprinkle other characters in. When it comes down to it, we make these notes before the thing. And when it comes to like Days of Our Lives notes before Days for Dummies, that happens at 9 a.m. Pacific time right here on this channel. It's like 5 things. For this show, it's remember to talk about Super Chat. Sonny gets arrested. Valentine and Martin, which we haven't even talked about yet. Like Lucy Martin, we haven't talked about that. Like it's 12:41. We probably aren't going to talk about. Joss Dex, Nicholas Curtis, Selena, like so many more notes. General Hospital.
We got to talk about Nicholas a little bit though.
Okay.
So Nicholas is not dead.
No,
Austin's been taking care of him.
Yeah.
He's back on canvas, you guys. We're going to see a lot of Nicholas going forward.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see a lot of Nicholas going forward. It's going to be Adam Huss.
Yeah.
And Austin's got a lot going on with this Nicholas. Evidently, he's been staying in his place for months.
Months and months of a relationship we haven't seen.
And what does Austin have in mind for Ava? It ain't nothing good. It can't be.
I mean, so it brings so much into question. Now, is he then now going to be using Nicholas for work against the Gatling gang? I mean, we don't know because
we don't even know what side Austin's really on.
We really have no clue because every time we think, oh, he's this, we get something like, oh, no, he's not. But then once we feel comfortable again, something else comes out where you're like, what? But what the? But why?
Yes. Yes. Oh man. And it makes me wonder, what was the point of Austin kind of seducing Ava? Just to say, hey, it was easy?
I don't know.
I hope not. That would lean into the bad side, like, oh, well, because it could.
Because we could, because I'm bad, because I'm evil. I don't know what to make of it. I truly and honestly and really do not know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, it's going to be juicy. We don't know if Cyrus is really legitimate. We still don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how legitimate Austin is.
No.
The only one in that little group that we know Jason. We know Mason ain't worth a darn no matter what.
No. And then we, with Cyrus's change in perspective with his relationship with the warden, we don't know anything about what they could do, what they have done, what their motivations and intentions are. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, what if Cyrus is using his evil powers and connections to do bad things that he thinks are good? Like taking Sonny out. He thinks that's good, but really it's going to create more problem or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Not a third amnesiac. Nobody's coming back. No. Nicholas remembers everything. He's fine.
Yeah,
he goes, hey, Doc, all that kind of stuff. He's not delirious. He's not wearing a Hawaiian shirt with a bandaged head. Like, he's He's cool. We're not having a third amnesiac on the show, I promise.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I don't think he's been held against his will either. I think he's actually
No,
been
yeah.
covering this entire time.
I think y'all in the chat are completely missing that Nikolas and Austin had a heart to heart and came to a agreement on what to do, because you think Austin maybe got some advice from Nikolas on what to say, do, and touch on Ava to get her to bend. Austin took total control of what was going on with Ava and the relationship with the Gatlin gang. Even though Mason was doing all the intimidating stuff, he was like, well, why don't we try this? How about we get rid of her? What if we hire this person? Oh, I found Avery. Like,
yeah.
Nikolas. That was me. That was me doing this. Nicholas.
Oh, and he and Ava are they're going to be enemies after all this.
She's going to try to stab him with the wings of the gargoyle rather than bash him over the head. Now, what a terrible hiding job. She just stuck that thing in the cabinet, didn't even wash it off or nothing. All right, just in the cabinet now. Like, throw that thing in the tunnel. The tunnel's right there.
Or throw it over the parapet.
Yeah, do something. I think Nikolas will kidnap Avery, and Mason and Betty will be blamed by Sonny and Ava, and Austin will have to come clean about Ava, about Nikolas. That would be definitely a twist and a turn, and I don't know, because there's like this part of me that's like, GH isn't going to do that, but that was what GH has been doing for the last couple of years, is not doing stuff, and they've been doing stuff now. So I don't know, but it's super fun place to be living in when it comes to not knowing what to expect out of the show, or thinking that things that you're like, oh, well, what if it's this thing could actually really be this thing now? While before it's like, oh, what if it's this thing? And then you always find out that it isn't. You know?
and Nicholas gonna pop up soon, because wait till he see Windermere on the market.
Yeah,
Lucy
right.
Coast listing.
Right?
He's gonna freak out.
Heck no. I guess Valentine's probably trying to buy it.
Spoon Island.
Maybe that's what Valentine is up to, just trying to get a bunch of last minute money to buy Windermere. So Valentine's up to something. He's getting all this, something. Martin couldn't even be the lawyer anymore because of Valentine, and what was going on there. And then they brought that. Really, I liked her, by the way, who came in and was just lawyering it up for. I wrote a little article about her on SoCalNews.net. I don't remember her name, but she did a great job. She came in. It was just like, I'm lawyering, and was convincing, and I liked it. And Jackson was back. And Jackson will have to be back again in 6 months. Yeah. For the real trial.
But they might accelerate time, and 6 months won't take 6 months.
So you know what I could do? Like once we get to a point where I can upgrade my setup, and you guys who are watching can do this, help me out with speed on being able to do this by contributing to the super chat functions and super ways to, I don't know, there's a little button under the screen, whatever, find the button, it's got a dollar sign in it, and click it. Anyway, because Martin Gray, Michael Lee Knight, and Wally, no, not Wally Girth, Walt Willie. They hung out. Yeah. They took pictures behind the scenes, and we're like, doing
some of them.
Little hand over the shoulder setup and stuff. And I would love to be able to share this stuff on the podcast for people who don't follow the social medias or might have missed this on their timelines and stuff. I would love to be able to grab that stuff and be like, oh, well, look at this cool thing I saw. But I have to upgrade my equipment to be able to do that. So you can help me out by donating to the super chat, and also 15% of that goes to attendanceworks.org. as well to help kids get to school. Yep. Remember that. All right. Last things here. What else? We talked about everything. Valentine, Martin, Lucy trial. Maxie bought the house. I mean, I really do think that we covered the vast majority of most things. I do. Yeah. I do. What do you think?
I think so.
I mean, we've been doing this for an hour and about 40 minutes because we pretty much started on time. So
that's a long time.
You feel like maybe we can let these people go have a Sunday.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I really feel as though they would sit in the chat until they were forced to leave. Like they were like, I gotta go make a sandwich for my family. They're starving to death. You know, I uh, I would hope that your family is capable of making their own sandwiches if it came to that.
I tell you what, if you weren't capable of making your own food in my house, you might starve to
You
death.
would definitely starve to death. Why wouldn't Spencer get Windermere when he inherited it? He didn't inherit it. Ava was given ownership of it by Nicholas, so it is
But
not
she blackmailed
available.
him. She blackmailed him and made
It was
him
not
give it to her.
available to be passed to Spencer. So he has no claim to it unless he were to buy it himself. Now Spencer does have a crap ton of money, so he probably could. But he's busy
You
living
don't
in
know
Laura's
it's for
house.
sale yet.
Valentine went dark. He's up to his eyebrows with pikemen. I think that you might be right, Carolyn. I think we might be seeing Valentine return to some nefarious, like true bad guy stuff.
I completely agree, and I think in the long run he will lose Anna to it. And it's funny too. Not maybe not even a month ago, we were talking about how he had made such a face turn. He was a good guy now.
Well, yes.
No.
What really, for me, okay, so what honestly, look at that. We're going to get another 10 minutes out of the show. Hope you didn't click off. Here's what it is, because I forgot to talk about this when we were talking about Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
What did they say to each other at the end? It's you and me, and it's always going to be you and me.
Yes, you're right. And I did think when that was spoken of, oh well, Anna don't mean nothing.
Anna, whatever it is that Valentine is doing that is apparently for Charlotte is more important than Anna. Now, I can't say that Anna does not mean anything to Valentine, because she does. That or
Well,
he
I
is
think he
a
does.
player.
Yeah, I think she does. I think she does as much as he's capable of, actually. But Valentine's always been, a Cassadine at heart. He's going to do anything that he thinks he might be able to get by with.
Yeah, so what about Charlotte burning down Anna's house? Anyway, so yeah, that was, was
I think
quite the thing to say.
if any child on there that's going to be a bad teenager and give everybody a run for their money, it's going to be that little Georgie.
Georgie and Charlotte are going to set things on fire together.
Yep.
Goodness gracious. Oh, thank you very much, Chandra. Oh, goodness. Chandra just super chatting it up for us. Moderating, super chatting, providing links, all sorts of stuff. Chandra's the best. She really is. She really is. Well, hey, 15% of those donations are going straight to attendanceworks.org at the end of the month. So, hey.
Absolutely.
Hey. If you have the inclination, if you have it set up, if you haven't, click on that stuff and get it set up so maybe you can do it later.
And in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure of it, in the next couple of weeks, you're going to get to meet one of this guy's siblings.
We're trying to
pop on here.
Chances are we're going to talk about this to death on Thursday coming up, because we want to make sure that you guys are overly informed with what it is that the show is up to and what we're going to be doing with your kind charitable donations and what the goals are. I'll be able to see what if I can do to set up any sort of imagery, graphics works, goals, thermometer thing, all that classic stuff.
And if Matt's sister pops in here, you can see exactly what I looked like 30 years ago.
Oh, goodness gracious, Ma. We don't need to get into that. My mom's obsession with her daughter Fountain of Youth. I will always remember what I looked like back when.
And I always tell her, you know what you're going to look like when.
Oh, goodness gracious. If you can connect via PayPal too. I don't, honestly, I'll try to do some more research. If you guys have questions, you can tweet us at 10th Lord GH. You can leave a comment. I'll try to get back to it here on the video itself. Chances are I will. And I'll see if I can find out the specifics to whatever questions that you might have, because I realize it's to change a little bit. It's a change for us too. So yeah, I guess that's it, Ma. That's it. We're gonna get back on the elevator.
Okay.
Yeah. We could put Matt's sisters next to Jake, and it'll be a Doctor Who episode. We put you, Melissa, next to Jake Weber, then it'll be like you and Dad in high school again. Anyway, get on the elevator. We're going back down to the first floor. We're getting out of here. We're going on into the parking lot. We're getting in our cars. It's a cool Tesla or something. I don't know. Something neat and fancy from, the last 5 years.
That's funny. That's funny because I saw a picture of a Tesla and had a bumper sticker on it, and it said, "I bought this before I knew what Elon Musk was really about."
You could pay for super chats via credit, debit card, or PayPal. Well, there you go. We've got PayPal. It's even easier. And then, buymeacoffee.com/10th floor. It's also a thing. Anyway, I'm also looking into finding a website host to be able to put it all together for us. So I could just say go to 10thfloor.com or 10thfloorpodcast.com for all of the information. So I'm looking into that. We'll see if I can do that, and hopefully nobody buys that domain before I get it done. Happy Labor Day to you, Nathan. Anyway, get in your car to previous episodes of the 10th Floor, which you can find on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. If you cannot find it, you can reach out to us on Twitter at 10th Floor GH, or I guess it's called X now, and we'll point you in the right direction and send you a link, all of that kind of stuff. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification icon so you can get a notification every time we put up a post, a video, schedule a stream, do a short, any sort of different number of different things. Thank you very much to those who participated in the super chat today. If you're watching this on a rebroadcast, you can still contribute. There's still that same icon below the video. You can go ahead and click that and give a sticker and little things. And again, 15% of that is going to be going to attendanceworks.org. That's it. Go spend some time with your families. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you next time right here on the 10th floor. Bye.
Bye.